I'm here with Adam Bain of Twitter and Laura Desmond of Starcom, and you guys recently announced a very big deal between your two companies. Can you tell me exactly what that means?
SMG and Twitter have come together. We think it's a pretty groundbreaking and landmark deal, really around, the idea that brands have stories to tell, and you have to tell your story based on the right targeting, the right approach to the paid, owned, and earned media space, and you have to do it based on research that underpins everything, and that is data, and that's co-creation of product.
As we think about over the last couple years, some of the most innovative work that we've seen done on the platform, we started realizing that SMG clients were a part of those examples, those case studies that we kept talking about in market. Things like Samsung or some of the other ones that Laura mentioned. And we always had been spending time with Laura and the team. In fact, especially around social TV. This is an area that we spend a lot of time with Laura and the SMG team, kind of getting advice and talking about strategy. So much so that, and I think Dick, our CEO, talked a little bit about this in the past, that those conversations helped refine our thinking about the space and actually led us down a path of acquisition of a company called Bluefin Labs that had been working with the SMG team. So we already had a very close relationship when it came to strategy and how we looked at the world. And what we wanted to do was launch some projects together that had real meaning. So one of the first things that we're doing together that we talked about was the creation of a social TV research lab. And essentially, it's going to be a set of research that we do together for SMG clients to specifically look at, talk about, and study the impact of Twitter onto TV and vice versa. And so that'll be one of a series of things that are coming later this year.
Research shows that only like 15% or so of Americans are actually on Twitter using it. Do you think that there's like a lot of hype involved in this at this point, or is there a lot of room to grow?
Yeah, so Twitter has about 200 million active users that log in on a 30-day basis. What's interesting about that is over half of them come in every single day, and they're logging in through certainly a large part on the desktop, but mobile primarily, so both on a phone or a tablet. And what we've seen is that that has grown dramatically, about 100% year over year. And we're seeing the types of things that people are tweeting about or talking about dramatically expand. So it took us 3 years to get to our first billion tweets, and now we do that every 2 or 2.5 days. So just an incredible amount of content coming onto the platform. And I think on the TV side, we're seeing people that are talking about what they're watching. TV had always been social, but the conversation was always delayed by a day. And now what we're seeing is this is happening in real time. And it's happening at scale, and it appeals to the masses.
Reach is important. Scale and the number of users globally and in key markets is important. It always will be. But we've moved beyond just a measurement of reach to determine what's effective. We've moved into engagement, and we've moved into whether or not people want to participate with something as a measure for how effective and how much it can actually help build a brand. We've sort of moved beyond 1 billion people doing something one time. We want a small passion group doing things many times and engaged, because we know that's going to build brands further and move product further.
What do you think of Facebook adding hashtags last week?
I think it's interesting. I think ultimately, the hashtag was created by Twitter users as well as the retweet and the @reply. And so I think, those types of things which will help bring already what we're seeing in the digital world more mainstream is a great thing for consumers and obviously a great thing for marketers. If you just walk down the Palais, you'll see a huge hashtag on a billboard, hashtag Cannes Lions with the Twitter bird. People know that Twitter's the place to have live conversation about a topic that's open, public, unfiltered, and at scale in a distributed way.
I'm actually interested in who's going to do the new thing. What's next? And that's what's fun about Cannes. it brings us that intersection of creativity and technology so we can figure out what's going to happen next.
They're at a point where, historically their business was very MSN, driven, but now we're really starting to see them integrate.
Your smartphone or your tablet is yours. It's personal, right? What we're looking at is taking aspects of that and bringing that alive in other products like the television.